Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this virtual interaction for remembering the Swami Vivekananda ji on his birth anniversary, and it is National Youth Day. So before going to start the session, let me introduce some of the eminent personalities, our senior most academicians in this meeting. So today our chief guest is Professor Uma Maheshwar Rao ji. He is director at National Institute of Technology, Surathkal. And along with him, we have Dr. Nandita Pathak ji. She is a well-known scholar and she is a woman entrepreneur. And in addition to them, we also have many senior academicians like Professor Sudhakar Edlaji. He is a former Vice Chancellor. And sitting Vice Chancellor, we have a Professor S.K. Rao ji from Gwalior. And we also have Ravindranath Manukonda. He is a senior professor at Jawaharlal Nehru University. And we also have a Dr. Raghavendra ji. He is from Osmania University. And Amitav Sarkar ji, he is a registrar at the School of Planning and Architecture, Vijayawada. And we have a Professor Nihar Ranjan Misra ji. He is a dean at NIT Rourkela. And we also have some bureaucrats from the Government of India like T.D. Reddamma ji. He is working with the Defense Ministry in Government of India. And we have a senior RSS functionaries like Anada Shankar ji. And we also have a Sri Krishna Srivatsava ji. He is a Vice Chancellor at Northeast Hill University. And we also have a Dr. George. He is a senior professor, a retired professor. And in addition to them, many assistant professors also we are having in the panel, like Dr. Sili Rawat. She is from Orissa. And Dr. Govardhan Bhadji, he is also dean at NIT Surathkal. So in addition to them, we have many academicians in the group, Dr. Mohan Rao ji, and we also have Dr. Shankar Rao ji. So definitely it would be an enlightening session for all of us. So without wasting much time, I request my team member Sindhuja to give introduction about honorable guest of the day. Hand over to Sindhuja.
A very bright and colorful evening to all the honorable dignitaries, respected chief guests, the keynote speaker, and everyone over here today. As you all know, we are from the organization Towards Better India. The National Youth Day is celebrated as it is the birth anniversary of Swami Vivekananda. It was a decision of Government of India taken in 1984 to celebrate the birthday of great Swami Vivekananda as National Youth Day every year. The Government of India quoted that the philosophy of Swamiji and the ideals for which he lived and worked could be a great source of inspiration for the Indian Youth Day. The National Youth Day is observed all over India at schools and colleges with processions, speeches, music, youth conversions, seminars, yogasanas, presentations, competitions in essay writing, recitations, and sports on 12th January every year. Swami Vivekananda's lectures and writings, deriving their inspiration from Indian spiritual tradition and the broad outlook of his master, Sri Ramakrishna Paramhamsa. These were the source of inspiration and has motivated numerous youth organizations, study circles, and service projects involving the youth. So let's start our event today.
Thank you, Sindhusha. So now I request you to give introduction about the honorable guest, Professor Uma Maheshwar Rao ji.
Maheshwar Rao Garu is the director of NIT Surathkal. He has graduated in mining engineering from Osmania University, Hyderabad in the year 1983. After working in various mining industries for a total period of around 3 years, he joined Indian Institute of Technology, BHU, for a master's in engineering. He acquired his MTech in mining engineering and was the topper of the class with CGPA of 9.38. He started his teaching career as a lecturer in mining engineering at the Regional Engineering College, Surathkal, GK, Karnataka. Later, in the year 1989, he joined IIT Kharagpur in the Department of Mining Engineering as a lecturer. He obtained his PhD in the field of rock mechanics from IIT Kharagpur. With a steady growth from lecturer, He became a full professor in 2004. As a professor, Dr. Rao had served IIT Kharagpur at various administrative positions. Some of the important portfolios were as Chairman Estate and Vice Chairman JE. Professor Rao was the head of mining department during 2006 to 8 and 2010 to 14. His field of specialization is experimental rock mechanics, and he has been working in this area since 1989. He has produced 6 PhD degrees, and there are another 12 research scholars in the advanced stage of research under his supervision for their doctoral degree. He has, to his credit, published 30 quality papers in international journals and 30 papers in the international seminars and conferences. The milestone in his research is the publication of book on the principles of rock drilling, published by A. Balkema, Rotterdam, Netherlands in the year 1999. Later, this book was also published by India Book House, New Delhi. This book has given Professor Rao an international acclaim in the field of mining engineering. Professor Rao has obtained Korea Science and Engineering Foundation Award, INSA KOSEF. Under this fellowship program, he worked at Korea Institute of Geosciences and Mineral Resources during 2003 to 4. Later, he was also awarded Erudite Fellowship from KIGAM South Korea in the year 2005. And he was appointed as a visiting professor at the Cheonnam National University, South Korea in the year 2008. He served as a professor in the Department Energy Resources Engineering at CNU during 2008 to 9. During his association with South Korea until 2012, he was invited on various occasions for delivering lectures in Seoul National University, Cheonnam National University, Kangwon National University. He was also invited by the University of Adelaide in Australia for delivering lectures in mining engineering. Later, in the year 2015, he was appointed as a visiting professor in the University of UBC, Okanagan campus by the School of Mechanical Engineering. Now let me welcome Professor Uma Maheshwar Rao Garu to speak some few words. Sir?
Yes, yes. Sir, Umameshwar.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much. And honorable guest of honor, Dr. Nandita Pathak, a woman social entrepreneur, and the most distinguished delegates from various institutions. And some of the institutions are NITs as well. I can see from the list which is there here, and other central universities and other organizations. Namaste from National Institute of Technology, Karnataka, Surathkal. A very good afternoon to you all. National Youth Day is also known as Rashtriya Yuva Divas and is celebrated on the birth anniversary of Swami Vivekananda. As you are aware of the spread of COVID-19 or Omicron and across the country, across the globe, and once again we are back onto online mode. And in fact, it is trying to really state that where there is a will, there is a way, and then nothing can really stop our endeavors to reach out to each of us, even on any occasions. And so is this day where we have really gathered for the celebration of National Youth Day, commemorating the birth anniversary, birthday of Swami Vivekananda. Wish you all a happy National Youth Day. Today we are observing National Youth Day on Swami Vivekananda's 159th birth anniversary. Let us remember him through his teachings that are influencing our lives and thoughts for harmony within self and with others around us. Swami Vivekananda, in my opinion, this is my personal opinion, remains relevant forever, and this is a simple truth. I feel privileged to share a few thoughts about Swami Vivekananda. Nonetheless, even though I'm not competent to speak of a person who is boundless, is anant, infinite, and whose knowledge is immense. However, I shall share a few thoughts which have immensely influenced me. Just one or two such thoughts, like the drops of nectar. I start with saying, I think most of you know this particular saying, which is very popular amongst us also, that is, arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. And I just go off now from here. January 12th is the birth anniversary of Swami Vivekananda, the famous Hindu spiritual leader and intellectual from the late 19th century. As an important religious reformer in India, Swami Vivekananda is known to have introduced Hindu philosophies of yoga and Vedanta to the world. Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose called him the maker of modern India, and it is very true even now. Now let us just try to look at this aspect, is that what makes him immortal? I think there is a lot to know about Swami Vivekananda. So let me recapitulate a few aspects here for your own understanding, assessment, and judgment. I don't really mean to judge a stalwart like him, but still, I leave my opinions to you to judge. Vivekananda was born in an influential and a well-to-do family, and he is known as Narendranath Datta. From an early age, he nurtured an interest in the Western philosophy, history, and theology. Once his professor William Hastie, while lecturing on William Wordsworth's poem, The Excursion, emphasized the word trance in the poem and suggested his students to visit Ramakrishna of Dakshineshwar, who lives in Dakshineshwar, to understand the true meaning of trance. From this incident, this is one incident which has happened in the life of Narendranath when he was still Narendranath, known as Narendranath amongst his students. From this incident in the life of Narendranath, let me draw a few observations and their relevance in the present context. The first point is that how many of us are keen to know the essence of the words we learn in the classrooms? What prompted Swamiji to visit Ramakrishna? Why did Swami Vivekananda explore the reasons to know the truth on why he did not like Ramakrishna Paramahansa and his philosophy, and whose impressions he used to carry, that his ecstasies and visions, and Vivekananda considers initially as mere figments of imagination and hallucinations. But the fact of the matter is that in spite of these opinions which he initially had of Ramakrishna Paramahansa, he continued to visit his ashram again and again and again. Ramakrishna, who faced his arguments, he listened to Vivekananda patiently and said, try to see the truth from all directions or from all angles. That is it. And Swami Vivekananda was in search of the universal truth, and he became an ardent disciple of Ramakrishna Paramahansa. Most of us today, and in particular the youth, we are fickle, we are inconsistent, we are indecisive, we are living in fear and anxiety, and often we are judgmental without any reason. We draw the judgment without even reading any text and without knowing the truth. Lost faith in self and are getting into a denial mode for any reason and every reason, whether the reason is good or bad. Finally, we are placing our rights before our responsibilities, and we have become gullible and we have become vulnerable. Right? It is a failure of the social intelligence, and so easily tricked or manipulated into an ill-advised course of action. It is closely related to credulity, or rather you can say it as an innocence, which is the tendency to believe unlikely propositions that are unsupported by any evidence. This is the youth with which we are really passing through. Classes of people, especially vulnerable to exploitation due to gullibility, include the youth and even the elderly, who are dependent on their children. One of the reasons is that youth is looking for shortcuts to success. The youth is convinced today. I think most of the teachers who are here, gathered here, are also convinced that the youth is trying to identify the wrong answer rather than knowing the right answer. I think you got what I'm trying to say, that most of the coaching institutions, they try to teach the students identify the wrong answer instead of really making them really improve their knowledge to identify what is the right answer. How contradicting is the disposition of the youth today in comparison to the young man in Swami Vivekananda and his zeal to go in search of finding the meaning of the word trance. We need a few like him to build India today. One word which his professor has said in the classroom get the meaning of the trance, and you can get the meaning of the word trance on visiting Ramakrishna in Dakshineshwar, right? That was the one word that really he wanted to know the exact truth of that one. But then today's youth, right, we are now trying to identify the wrong without knowing the right one. Okay. The second point which I would like to really state here is that after Ramakrishna Paramahansa's death, Vivekananda toured across India, educating the masses about the ways to improve their economic condition as well as imparting spiritual knowledge. His intention, Swami Vivekananda's intention, was to get connected with the people at the grassroots level. He believed that the solutions or the permanent solutions will be obtained from the grassroots levels rather than trying to make a superficial attempts. And maybe these superficial attempts, right, which will give you a cosmetic change, or rather the success are only transient. Vivekananda is especially remembered around the world for his speech at the Parliament of the World's Religion in Chicago in the year 1893, which most of you know. The point which really catches most of the youth, or which the youth has to really identify, is that the very first sentence which he uttered, "Sisters and brothers of America." By that one single sentence, he made the millions of Americans as his, and he made himself belong to them. Right? In a world full of formal relationships, I'm talking in the context of the Western world, in the world full of formal relationships, from office to the home, an intimate call as just enough to really for the world to take him very serious and look at him very seriously. Further, I would like from his speech in the world's religious, in the meeting of the Parliament of the World's Religion, right? I quote here, "It fills my heart with joy unspeakable to rise in response to the warm and cordial welcome which you have given us. I thank you in the name of the most ancient order of the monks in the world. I thank you in the name of the mother of religions, and I thank you in the name of millions and millions of Hindu people of all classes and sects." I wish to underline the word Hindu people, all classes and sects. I think this sentence is more relevant today than those days. The rest of the speech, which covered topics including universal acceptance, tolerance, and religion, made the crowd find the truth in the words of the monk in the orange robes or orange dress. And it got him a unique identity. And then they have really had a lot of reverence on what he's tried to preach. The message here for us is the acceptance without any condition, selflessness. I'm not narrating the audience which Swami Vivekananda had to take to participate in the World Parliament of Religions in Chicago on September 11th, 1893. Many parts of speech, his parts of the speech, since he became popular, they include, quote unquote, right? It is, "I'm proud to belong to a religion which has taught the world both the tolerance and universal acceptance. We believe not only in universal tolerance, we accept all the religions as true." Further, I quote, I am proud to belong to a nation which has sheltered the persecuted and all the refugees of all religions and all nations of the earth. And sectarianism, bigotry, and its horrible descendants, fanaticisms, have long possessed this beautiful earth. Had it not been for these horrible demons, human society would be far more advanced than it is now. Can there be any thought? I'm just really reminding all of you, can there be any thought more relevant today in today's context? I leave it to you and to your assessment. The fifth point is that before his death in 1902, Vivekananda wrote to one of his Western followers, quote unquote, right? "It may be that I shall find it good to get out of my body, to cast it off like a worn out garment, but I shall not cease to work. I shall inspire men everywhere until the whole world shall know that it is one with God. This is the reason why Swami Vivekananda stands tall, immortal before us, even today after 159 years. The sixth point I would just like to reiterate is that India was largely unknown to the Western world in those days, referring to those days, right? As whatever little they know, and was largely an exaggerated account as a land of snake charms, populated by masses who followed abominable religious practices, a land untouched by the civilized ideas of the modern world. It is not touched by any modern exposure. That is what the Western world had an opinion about India. Swami Vivekananda was instrumental in making the philosophical ideas of Hinduism accessible to the Western world. He tried to show to the West how the ideas of Hinduism were not crude or superstitious, but were completely in alignment with the most advanced scientific ideas of the day. Through his exposition of Hinduism, by trying to explain the philosophy and cultural practices of Hinduism in light of the twin values of enlightenment, rationality, and human progress. The task of Swami Vivekananda set before him was to establish Hinduism on secure foundations. In one of his earlier lectures in United States of America, he says, quote unquote, is religion to justify itself by the discoveries of reason through whichever other science justifies itself? He says that if any Newton's theories have to be justified with any investigations, and he is also opinion that is the religion to justify itself by the discoveries of reason, right? Are the same methods of investigation which we apply to science and knowledge outside to be applied to the science of religion? In my opinion, this must be so, right? In order to really prove the truth of religion, Swami Vivekananda sought to show the validity of something beyond the mental and rational. That is the spiritual plane. Talking about the sources of knowledge, he says, we find in all beings three sorts of instruments of knowledge. The first is the instinct, which you find in almost all the animals, right? This is the lowest instrument of knowledge. What is the second instrument of knowledge? Second instrument of knowledge, as according to Swami Vivekananda, is the reasoning. You find that most highly developed in human beings. Reason can go only a little way and then it stops. It cannot go any further. If you try to push it, the result is helpless confusion, and the reason it becomes unreasonable. Therefore, therefore there must be some instrument to take us beyond, and that instrument is called the inspiration. It is reason that develops into inspiration, and inspiration does not contradict reason, but it fulfills. This is what Swami Vivekananda stated in one of his lectures in United States of America. Why Swami Vivekananda is relevant is that we are in the age of instantaneously getting the result, and it has invited the shallowness in our knowledge. Religiosity is a commodity sold by all sorts of brand gurus and distributed through various television channels or television programs. No wonder it is not easy to acquire the patience to feel the paradox life trajectory of Swami Vivekananda. The celebrated speech he delivered at Parliament of Religions in Chicago in 1893 indicates the monk's urge to assert the heritage of India as the mother of religions, and why we should feel proud to belong to the nation that has sheltered the prosecuted and refugees of all religions and all nations on the earth. Swami's words were intoxicating. No wonder his constant plea for strength and courage, and his metaphors of football and muscles of iron, nerves of steel, and gigantic will for regenerating a nation, finding its soul and uniqueness in religiosity. It inspired generations willing to restore India's self-pride. This is why he becomes immortal. The spirit of Vedanta, the meditation between finite and infinite, and the boundless energy innate in us must be rescued. It must be awakened for all of us. That is why he becomes immortal. This faith in oneself, Vivekananda asserted repeatedly, is true religiosity, and hence you are an atheist if you do not believe in yourself. Again, I repeat, he stated that you are an atheist if you do not have belief in yourself. However, it means faith in all because you are all. Aham Brahmosmi. This is the reason why Swami Vivekananda remains relevant and immortal forever. Imagine the intensity of his appeal to the would-be patriots, right? He stated that, do you feel the millions are starving today and millions have been starving for ages? Do you feel that ignorance has come over the land as a dark cloud? Does it make you restless? Does it make you sleeplessness? So these are the questions he has thrown at the youth. That is why Swami Vivekananda is always immortal, right? We need to see beyond, we have to see beyond, for or against, and explore diverse ways of creating a spiritually enriched egalitarian society. And in the age of totalitarian thinking and intellectual untouchability, it is not a bad idea to agree with Swami Vivekananda, and therefore arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. And our goal is to make Atmanirbhar Bharat. Right? This is an appeal to the youth, and that is why Swami Vivekananda remains immortal. Jai Hind. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to give my opinions to the youth, and I hope it really vibrates in the youth to understand what exactly is the need for the hour if we are all committed to give our part of contribution to make India a totally a self-reliant India. The dreams will come true. Thank you very much.
So thank you, sir. Thank you very much. We know you are a
Thank you,
eloquent
sir.
speaker. Now what we do is, before opening the house for others, now we have our guest of honor, Dr. Nandita Pathak ji. So now I request Sindhusha to give introduction about Dr. Nandita Pathak ji. Hand over to Sindhusha.
Dr. Nandita Pathak is the brand ambassador of Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, winner of 100 Women 2016 contest based on popular voting in the field of community mobilization, conducted by the Ministry of Women and Child Development, Government of India. She is a postgraduate in food and nutrition. She is the executive board member of NIOS. She is the state convener of Ganga Samagar Delhi. And she is the vice president of BJP in Madhya Pradesh. And her turning point of life is she's inspired by the words of Bharat Ratan Honorable Nanaji Deshmukh, who devoted his whole life to the service of the humanity. That girl like you should not work for money, but should serve the society. This was the turning point in her life. And since then, she has been committed to work in the field of social sciences under Deena Dayal Research Institute, Chitrakoot, India, working tirelessly for the social reconstruction of the society. Working with Chitrakoot project, which is a self-reliance program in 500 villages around Chitrakoot. It aimed at wiping out poverty, illiteracy, improving health, clean and green villages, and creating dispute-free society. In villages, she worked for dispute resolution, elevation of poverty, unemployment, illiteracy, and malnutrition. She is a major motivating factor for the women in the villages covered by Chitrakoot project and encourage them to participate in development plan for their villages. She encouraged self-employment through training of thousands of women and youth, especially of backward and downtrodden class, guided several thousands families for gainful employment through microfinance, self-help groups, and multi-level employment generation programs. During the last 6 years, through a campaign called Rojgar Abhiyan, she made direct communication personally with more than 1 lakh rural youth. She organized the conference Mahila Sangam for 20,000 women with the aim of making them self-dependent and self-reliant. She was instrumental in devising the low-cost manufacturing process of more than 120 value-added products, thereby helping in empowerment of women of villages and tribal areas. Several camps were organized by her in various medico-social issues, mainly focused on malnutrition and mother and child care in villages. As a chairperson of Krishi Vigyan Kendra, she got success in implementation of techniques for increasing agricultural yield in low-yielding areas of Bundelkhand. She helped in providing solar lights in villages with no electricity, also instrumental in devising smokeless stoves for the health of villages and tribal women. She made public relationship with government of different departments and officials in CSIR labs, agriculture, rural, women and child welfare for the upgradation of knowledge and scientific approach. She communicated the success experiences of Chitrakoot project model to the governors of UP, MP, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, and Bihar, and other states for the replication. She established production cum training centers to bring down unemployment disparity. Constantly, she practiced innovative experiments with scientific approach for the betterment of society with keen interest in knowing and bringing national international schemes to the needy families to make them self-reliant. She first time introduced ISO standards covering all the aspects of working pattern in DRI. She attended the seminar organized by IDCA in Chicago, Global Pan IIT Conference USA, Harvard University seminar in Boston, Terra Madre, Italy seminar organized by NRIs on rural development in Dubai. She has participated in several national seminars and she has been delivering the lectures on the issues of rural development, food technologies, self-reliance campaign, women empowerment, and entrepreneurship development, and taught at Tata Institute of Social Sciences, IIT Roorkee, IIM Indore, and SRM University, Chennai Padmavati University, Tirupati, and BITS Hyderabad. She got the Veerangan Award by Sanskar Bharati in 2012. She also got Seva Ratan Award by Bharatiya Siksha Mandal in 2011. She had an outstanding contribution for employment generation and innovation in entrepreneurship development. Recently, she has been awarded the Sri Ram Naik Ji Award for outstanding work on agriculture and cottage industries organized by Hindustan Samachar. So now let me welcome Nandita Pathak ji to deliver a few words.
Sindhusha, thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
हम आप सभी को युवा दिवस की ढेर सारी शुभकामनाएं देते हैं क्योंकि आज हम सब लोग स्वामी विवेकानंद जी को याद करने के लिए टुवर्ड्स बेटर इंडिया के द्वारा आयोजित इस थोड़ी देर के लिए हम सब लोग एकत्रित हुए हैं। उतनी ही देर में हम लोग सोच सकते हैं अभी हम लोगों के समक्ष आज के मुख्य अतिथि और मुख्य वक्ता जो रहे हैं प्रोफेसर उमा महेश्वर राव जी। आपने कितना सुंदर स्वामी विवेकानंद जी के जीवन से लेकर अंत समय तक उन्होंने कैसे भारत देश का नाम रोशन किया और भारतीयता के आधार पर उन्होंने जो जो काम किया है हम सब लोगों के समक्ष आपने रखा। आपका मैं हृदय से स्वागत करती हूँ, अभिनंदन करते हैं एवं वंदन करते हैं। और आपके जैसे प्रोफेसर होंगे तो यूथ जरूर कुछ सही दिशा में जाएंगी और कुछ अच्छा काम कर रही हैं। आपको हम बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं देते हैं और नेशनल यूथ डे के अवसर पर स्वामी विवेकानंद जी के जयंती के अवसर पर आपका मैं हृदय से स्वागत करती हूँ। आज हम लोगों के बीच में प्रमुख वक्ता के रूप में, गेस्ट ऑफ ऑनर के रूप में भी हम लोग के बीच में विराजमान होंगे प्रोफेसर शिवेंद्र कश्यप जी। आप पंतनगर यूनिवर्सिटी से हैं और शिवेंद्र जी का आप सब लोग जब सुनेंगे तब आपको पता चलेगा कि ये ऐसे व्यक्तित्व है स्वामी विवेकानंद जी से प्रेरणा पाकर यूथ के अंदर वह सब भावनाएं आ जाए और भारत देश अपना हर समय हंसता रहे, खिलता रहे, खुशहाली का जीवन व्यतीत करे। हर एक युवा इसके लिए उन्होंने विवेकानंद स्वाध्याय मंडल तैयार करके उसमें युवाओं को तैयार करते हैं और देश सेवा के लिए, समाज सेवा के लिए उनको प्रेरित करते हैं। ऐसे हम लोग के बीच में डॉक्टर शिवेंद्र कश्यप जी भाई साहब भी उपस्थित होंगे, अभी थोड़ी देर में जुड़ने वाले हैं। एवं इसमें उपस्थित सभी सम्माननीय प्रोफेसर्स, असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर्स और युवा का मैं बहुत बहुत स्वागत करती हूँ। पूरे देश भर से इसमें जुड़े हैं, सिर्फ तेलंगाना ही नहीं, आंध्र प्रदेश ही नहीं, क्योंकि टुवर्ड्स बेटर इंडिया इज वर्किंग इन तेलंगाना। पर तेलंगाना और आंध्र प्रदेश से ही नहीं जुड़े हैं, क्योंकि वेंकट कृष्णा जी का इतना अच्छा संबंध है। पूरे मध्य प्रदेश, उत्तर प्रदेश, राजस्थान, हर जगह से लोग इस सेमिनार में जुड़े हुए हैं। उन सभी युवाओं का, मैं युवा बंधु भगिनियों का बहुत बहुत स्वागत करती हूँ, अभिनंदन करते एवं वंदन करते हैं। युवा सुनते ही साथ हमको भी लगता है हम अभी कॉलेज से पढ़कर निकले हैं, और जो भी एनसीसी, एनएसएस, अखिल भारतीय विद्यार्थी परिषद के माध्यम से जो भी काम होते थे, खेल कूद का, हम लोग भी बहुत खुशी के साथ सब में भाग लेते थे। यही स्वामी विवेकानंद जी ने हम लोगों को बताया है, क्योंकि हर एक व्यक्ति को अपना खेलते हुए, हंसते हुए, मुस्कुराते हुए, कितना भी तनाव क्यों ना हो, कितना भी स्ट्रेस क्यों ना हो, हम सब लोग हंसते रहे, मुस्कुराते रहे, लोगों को खुशियां दे। वही दिन मुझे याद आ रहा है। ऐसे युवा शक्ति यहाँ पर, कोई लॉ कर रहे हैं, कोई बीटेक कर रहे हैं, कोई अपना जॉब्स कर रहे हैं, कोई खुद के सेल्फ एंटरप्रेन्योर्स है। आप सभी को भी मैं एक ही चीज बताना चाहती हूँ। 1863 में जिन महापुरुष का जन्म हुआ, उनका नाम था नरेंद्र, और नरेंद्र थे वो स्वामी विवेकानंद जी तक बनते। वो सफर यदि आप लोग अभी सुने हैं तो आप लोगों को लग रहा होगा कैसा छोटा सा बालक इतना अच्छा काम कर सकते हैं। आज भी हम लोग 150 वर्ष बीत गए, 159th बर्थडे हम लोग मना रहे। आज भी ऐसा लगता है कि स्वामी जी के एक एक बात, उनका अभी हमने थोड़ी देर पहले जो उन्होंने शिकागो में भाषण दिया था, हमारे पतिदेव ने ऐसे ही लगा दिए थे। जब हम उनका सुन रहे थे, उनकी आवाज में जो दम थी, जो दमदार आवाज है, कानों से सीधा हृदय तक पहुंच रहा था। हम युवाओं से यही निवेदन करते, हम लोग जो भी बोले वो लोगों के हृदय तक पहुंचे, और हृदय तक पहुंचने के बाद उसको हम लोग कैसे साकार कर सकते, करके एग्जीक्यूट कैसे कर सकते, जो भी बात हम लोगों ने सुना, यही हम लोगों को करने की आवश्यकता है। और अभी आप लोगों ने सुना टॉलरेंस की बात। आज के युवा कितना जल्दी दुखी हो जाते हैं, कितना जल्दी उन लोगों को कष्ट हो जाता है। कोई भी छोटी बड़ी तकलीफ आती है तो हम लोग टॉलरेट नहीं कर पाते, कहीं मारपीट में उतर आते हैं, कहीं सड़कों पे जाम लगा देते हैं, और अपनी भारत देश की संपत्ति का ही हम लोग नुकसान करते हैं। इसीलिए एक चीज हम सब युवाओं के लिए बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है, हम लोगों के अंदर भगवान इतना शक्ति दे, जितना स्वामी विवेकानंद जी के अंदर था उसका कुछ अंश हम सब युवाओं के अंदर आ जाए। हम लोग छोटी बड़ी चीजों को टॉलरेट करना सीखे, क्योंकि तभी हम लोग विश्व बंधुत्व की बात कर सकते। हम लोगों ने सुना अयम निज परोवेति गणना लघुचेतसाम उदार चरिता नाम तु वसुधैव कुटुंबकम। इतनी बड़ी परिकल्पना हम लोगों की है, और हम लोग यूनिवर्स की बात करते हैं, और हम सब मिलजुल कर रहने की बात करते हैं। तो थोड़ा बहुत हम लोग टॉलरेट करना सीखे। टॉलरेट गलत चीजों का नहीं करना है, सही जहां पर है, यदि हम लोगों को कुछ बात कोई बता रहे हैं तो उसको समझना पहले। इसीलिए स्वामी विवेकानंद जी का नाम में ही विवेक जुड़ा हुआ है। हम लोग भी रीजनिंग कैपेसिटी बढ़ाए, विवेक पूर्ण बने। भारत रत्न नानाजी देशमुख जी कहते थे, पशु भी जिंदा रहते, पशु भी खाते हैं, पीते हैं, सब कुछ करते हैं, पर मानव और पशु में अंतर है, क्योंकि मानव विवेकशील है, विवेक पूर्ण ढंग से हम लोग सोचते हैं। इसीलिए हम लोग लड़ाई झगड़ा में ना पड़ते हुए भारतीय परंपराओं को इतना इज्जत दे, सम्मान दे, हम लोग खुद उसकी प्रचार प्रसार बनकर उसकी वाहक बने, तब अपने स्वामी विवेकानंद जी की जयंती का कुछ मतलब निकलेगा। मैं एक चीज आपको बताऊंगी, क्योंकि जिनका आप लोग सुनेंगे असली आप लोगों को पता चलेगा क्या थे स्वामी विवेकानंद जी। जैसे उमा महेश्वर राव जी ने आपको बताया, अभी प्रोफेसर शिवेंद्र कश्यप जी भी आपसे बात करेंगे। एक बार मैं शिकागो गई थी, भगवान की दया से कई बार जाने का अवसर हुआ था, लेकिन जब मैं पहली बार जब गई थी शिकागो, 13 दिन के लिए गई थी, भारत के जितने भी हम जिन जिन को पहचानते थे वो सब एक ही बात पूछते थे, दीदी जहाँ स्वामी जी ने भाषण दिया वो जगह पर आप गए थे क्या? अमेरिका में हमें कौन इतना मदद करेगा? लेकिन यदि मिशन हम लोगों ने बना लिया, संकल्पित हो गया मुझे उस स्थान पर पहुंचना है, तो स्वामी विवेकानंद जी जिस प्रकार शिकागो पहुंचकर वहां पर उन्होंने अपनी उद्बोधन देने के बाद तालियों की गड़गड़ाहट बजी थी, यही युवाओं को मिशन ओरिएंटेड होने की जरूरत है। भगवान की दया से हमने सोचा हम भारत लौट के क्या बताएंगे लोगों को, मैं नहीं जा पाई। फिर हमने एक काका को वहां पर अपने इंडियन मिल गए, उनको मैंने कहा प्लीज हमें वहां थोड़ी देर के लिए ले जाइए। उन्होंने कहा भाई तुम जाओगे तो तुम्हारा फ्लाइट नहीं मिल पाएगा, दूर है वो। हमने कहा काका प्लीज हमें दिखवा दीजिए। दौड़ते दौड़ते जाती हूँ और वहां दरवाजा खोलने में भी वो लोग भगवान की दया से हमें मदद करते हैं, अकेले हम, और वो दरवाजे खुलते हैं, उस स्टेज पर जाकर हम खड़े होते हैं। वो स्पंदन आज भी हमें महसूस होता है। हम यही युवा शक्ति के लिए प्रार्थना करते हैं। स्वामी विवेकानंद जी हम सब लोगों को आज खूब शक्ति दे, खूब सामर्थ्य दे। हम लोग मिलजुल कर रहे, टॉलरेट करने की आदत हो जाए। दूसरी चीज जितनी स्वामी विवेकानंद जी से सीखने की बात है वो एक है, उन्होंने कैसे अपनी हिंदू वेशभूषा में, पहले भारतीय है जो विदेश का भ्रमण करके आ गए, वहां डंका बजा कर आ गए। ऐसे स्वामी विवेकानंद जी जब गए थे शिकागो, उनको रहने का पहले कोई व्यवस्था नहीं थी। बाद में उनका भाषण सुनने के बाद वहां की एक लेडी ने उनको अपने घर में रुकने की व्यवस्था करा था। और वो पलंग इतनी बड़ी पलंग थी, मेरे को प्रभावित करती है वो बात, इसीलिए हम आपको भी बताना चाहते हैं। वो पलंग इतना अच्छा, इतना मतलब बड़ा घर था, लेकिन जब अचानक वो महिला इसे पर्दा खोल के देखती है तो स्वामी जी नीचे लेटे हुए हैं। उन्होंने कहा क्यों स्वामी जी, आपको बिस्तर अच्छा नहीं लगा क्या? हमारे यहाँ का आतिथ्य अच्छा नहीं लगा क्या? तब उन्होंने कहा नहीं बहन जी, नहीं माता जी, आपका सब कुछ अच्छा है, आपके पास धन है, दौलत है, इतनी सुंदर व्यवस्थाएं हैं, लेकिन हमारे भारत के लोगों के पास ये व्यवस्था नहीं है, तो मैं उसका उपभोग नहीं कर सकता। वो व्यक्ति सामने सब कुछ होते हुए भी उन्होंने कंज्यूम नहीं किया। नहीं तो आज की युवाओं में कई बार ऐसा होता है, कहीं फ्री वाईफाई मिल जाए तो हम लोग खुश होकर बिना पासवर्ड के हम लोग यूज करना प्रारंभ कर देते। पता है ये सब थोड़ी थोड़ी देर के लिए खुशी तो मिलती है, लेकिन ये खुशी परमानेंट नहीं है, स्थायी नहीं है। इसीलिए स्वामी जी ने जो कहा दरिद्र नारायण की सेवा, आज भी आपके आसपास में जो बच्चे विद्यालय नहीं जा रहे, स्वामी विवेकानंद जी ने भगिनी निवेदिता जी को वहां से मार्गरेट को अपनी शिक्षा बनाकर भारत लाते हैं, और जो महिलाएं पढ़ नहीं पा रही, जो बीमार है, उनकी सेवा में लगा देते। तो क्यों ना आज जो इसमें जुड़े हुए सभी युवाओं से मैं निवेदन करती हूँ, अपने आसपास में यदि कोई चीज की कमी है तो हम लोग आगे बढ़े। किसी के पास चप्पल नहीं है तो हम लोग व्यवस्था करें, किसी के पास पुस्तक नहीं है तो हम लोग व्यवस्था करें। कोरोना काल में विवेकानंद जी का एक एक साहित्य बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है, क्योंकि बिना मतभेद के हम लोगों को सेवा करना है, बिना इसके सोच के कौन अपना कौन पराया। यदि कोई बीमार हो गया तो सेवा करेंगे, तभी हम सब लोगों का भारत का नाम और अच्छा होगा। अकेले माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी या सरकार के इससे नहीं होने वाला, हर एक की अपनी भूमिका है। आगे आप सबको मैं ढेरों ढेरों शुभकामनाएं देते, स्वस्थ रहिए, तंदुरुस्त रहिए। ये कोरोना फिर से आ रहा है, हम लोग अपना 2 गज की दूरी, मास्क है, सैनिटाइजर है, और सतर्क रहकर स्वामी विवेकानंद जी से प्रेरणा पाते हुए देश का नाम हम लोग रोशन करें, अपनी माता पिता का नाम भी रोशन करें। और भुवनेश्वरी देवी जी जैसे माँ होती है ना, तभी बनते हैं। इसीलिए आप लोग भी अपनी माँ, पिताजी, बंधु, भागनी और आपके जितने टीचर्स है, प्रोफेसर्स, लेक्चरर, सबका नाम रोशन करिए। आप सबको ढेरों शुभकामनाएं। भारत माता की जय। वेंकट कृष्णा को मैं हृदय से आभार व्यक्त करती हूँ, उनके कारण आज हम लोग थोड़ी देर के लिए स्वामी विवेकानंद जी के चरणों में सच्ची श्रद्धांजलि अर्पित कर रहे। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, बहुत बहुत आभार। शिवेंद्र जी भाई साहब का भी मैं बहुत बहुत स्वागत करती हूँ। भारत माता की जय।
So, thank you, Dr. Nandita ji. Now we have many senior academicians in the house. So before taking their views, now I also we would like to take Dr. Kashyap ji views. So let me call Sindhusha to give introduction about Dr. Kashyap ji. Hand over to Sindhusha.
Dr. Shivendra Kumar Kashyap.
Yes, I'm there. Namaskar. Namaskar to all.
Not you, sir. I am asking about Sindhusha. Sindhusha, are you there? Sindhusha, are you there?
Excuse me, sir. I just have a connection problem, sir.
So now we can hear you.
Yes, sir. Dr. Shivendra Kumar Kashyap established Patnanagar Janwani Community Radio Station in 2011. He also established Educational Technology Cell at GBPU 80 Patnanagar in 2005. He established the NASF Media Lab at GBPU 80 Patnanagar in 2017. Leading World Bank funded institutional development plan under the National Agricultural Higher Education Project at Patnanagar. He authored 50 research publications, 10 book chapters, 45 popular articles, compendium articles, 20 academic and professional books or booklets, 10 life skills books, and edited 15 books. He addressed more than 1,000 sessions for academicians, students, and practitioners on soft skills, life skills, and personality development. He has written comprehensive volume titled Improving Agricultural Education, Concepts and Methods, which include deep insight on improvement of agricultural education, research, and extension in agricultural universities. He received UNESCO CEMCA Community Radio Video Challenge Award by Commonwealth Educational Media Center for Asia in 2013. He received Manthan Award for South Asia and Asia Pacific 2013 at IHC New Delhi. He received the Teaching Excellence Award in Board of Faculty of Agricultural Annual Program at College of Agricultural GBPU 80, Patnanagar in 2013. He received Best Teaching Practices Award in Board of Faculty of Agricultural Annual Program at College of Agriculture in 2014. He received Dr. S. Radhakrishnan University.
Excuse me. I feel this much is enough. Let's not waste time of illustrious dignitaries who are there. Ho gaya.
Yes, sir. We cordially invite you to speak a few words about the National Youth Day.
धन्यवाद. बहुत धन्यवाद. Initially, thanking for very generous introduction made, and coming up to the topic straight away. Adarniya Nandita ji, Bharat ji, all the stalwarts who are there on the dais and who are there in the meeting. Each and every word spoken into introduction, the only one thing that I align with is, on this auspicious day of 12th January, Swami Vivekananda Jayanti, this auspicious day makes lots of sense to us into Pantnagar University. Being dean of the college is one thing, or being on different responsibility or whatsoever, professional achievements and accomplishments. But biggest achievement into this whole perspective is about being with the thought processes of Swamiji, right from beginning of the life, and connecting this university with a in-depth thought process related to Swami Vivekananda ji, especially for youth empowerment across. And it is almost 2 decades that we have been working with it. So last 2 decades, we have been continuously with the process.
Recording in progress. Recording in progress. Recording in progress. Recording in progress.
Kashyap sir, you can unmute now. So there is some technical problem with you earlier.
Actually, let it be. Please, sorry for inconvenience, because they were trying to connect with other camera, and it were 2 equipments apparatus parallelly, and second was not allowed to be unmute. Anyhow, I am going with the mobile phone straight away.
If you don't mind, can you tell me that name? Other system name?
Other system's name. Dr. S.K. Kashyap. That was also Dr. S.K. Kashyap, and that is through. It is through a smart board.
No, no, no. Only one system is there. That is the same name. Okay, sir. You can go ahead with this. We can hear you properly.
I feel it's fair that we go ahead with it. They rejoined. Just a minute.
Now you can unmute, I think. Sorry for the inconvenience. We have two Kashyaps. One is S.K. Kashyap and another one is S.K. Kashyap.
Am I audible?
Now we can hear you. Yes.
So fair enough. Sorry for inconvenience made and a bit like technical glitches in between. The thought of Swami Vivekananda with which we went ahead with, just reconciling and reconnecting the whole concept of Swami Vivekananda's thought in front. One thing that comes into mind straight away when we connected with 22 years of journey with Swamiji's thoughts. Why actually have we been talking about Vivekananda at all? And what distinctions and differences does it make when we talk about Vivekananda across into the country? What is the distinction and difference that is being made across into the country when we talk about Vivekananda? The thing that emerged into these 22 years of journey with Vivekananda Swadhyaya Mandal is that each word that has been spoken by Swami Vivekananda right into Chicago, after Chicago, prior to Chicago, from Colombo to Almora lectures, across into the country, wherever he spoke, whatsoever he spoke. If we get in depth into all those thought processes of Swamiji, then we come up to understand one thing, and it is brilliantly put ahead is Swamiji's thought is nothing but Swamiji's thought is all about its vibrance of Indian culture, Indian philosophy, Indian heritage, the in-depthness of ancient science, scriptures with which Swamiji came up with. The second thing, the second aspect that is equally important when we talk about Swami Vivekananda is, out of everything that has been spoken across into Swami Vivekananda, anything that has been spoken across into Vivekananda's thoughts and philosophy is, there is no touch of, nowhere there is any touch of any negativism into his thoughts. He never criticized anything and anyone. Though he crossed through lots of realms, different type of realms across, while he was there into other countries or over here into the country itself. But he always said himself even that I never permit a negative thought to get obsessed, to obsess my mind. And I want to retain that hope, that trust, that positivity that can make this country rise ultimately back to the roots. This is what exactly Vivekananda was, and this is how actually the vibrance of Vivekananda was that he carried across into very small, short spell of time that he lived. Into this university also with thoughts of Swami Vivekananda, when we sit with young people, those who are there across from different walks of life, different disciplines, they are from engineering or agriculture or veterinary sciences, when we sit together, when we look into one more thing that we came up to, and it is like research in depthness into Vivekananda's thoughts and words, and we could come up to understand that even a single word spoken by Swami Vivekananda right from beginning is, no word is a shallow word. It is not a throat business. It's much more than that. When he says arise, awake and stop not, this arise, awake and stop not has a corollary. It has an in-depthness. It has a meaning. That in-depthness, that meaning that is there from the background, ultimately emerging towards one aspect, that is arise, awake and stop not, that makes all the sense and difference, each and every word. Even if he says Vivekananda has to come to understand Vivekananda, there is an in-depthness into the thought. And when you connect with it, you come up to understand why actually he spoke like that. So the words spoken by Vivekananda is not yet another jargon. It's not yet another jargon that he wanted to impress upon youth, so he spoke it. There is a sense behind it. And that's why when study circles, students used to sit to get inside why Swamiji must have talked about it in that way. when he's talking about religion, when he's talking about education, when he's talking about the countrymen, when he's talking about emergence and arise of this country, when he's talking about social strata, when he's talking about the philosophical roots of Vedanta, whatsoever he is talking, why is he talking like that? There must be a perspective. That in-depthness, that perspective makes Vivekananda. And those who can delve down into that perspective could really come up to connect with the sense and essence of Swamiji. And this is where life grows. Life comes out. Life unfurls from what exactly the life is supposed to be. So this is where Vivekananda's thoughts and philosophy has made different levels of impact on different personalities across. If they are philosophers, if they are Westerners, if they are from this country, if they are from any walk of life, they took those words onto their own understanding. And this is how their words created multiple impacts on multiple levels of personality across into the country and the world. When I personally look into Swamiji's thoughts and processes over here into the university, and I am privileged because in last 22 years, it has been hundreds of students each year who come into connect of Vivekananda Swadhyaya Mandal, getting in, delving inside into Swamiji's thoughts through different activities, and then trying to translate those thoughts into deed, into one or another aspect. So I get lots of movements and chances to get inside the thoughts and processes, all those lectures which are compiled, the complete works, once, twice, thrice, 10 times, 20 times, because every generation the students would be coming and churning it ahead in one or another perspective. Today itself, when Swami Vivekananda's birthday was being celebrated today, into this hall itself, online mode, online process, we released this book, Upholding the Virtues and Accomplishments of 75 Years of Independence, Role of Youth. This book is containing about 120 thoughts of 120 young leaders, those who came up with their own opinions and thoughts, aligning with Swamiji and connecting with nation and with 75 years of independence and what is to be taken ahead. So these young voices make sense when they try to connect into Swamiji's thoughts. So in that context, the biggest perspective is, let's try to experiment with Swamiji's thoughts. Let's try to research with Swamiji's thoughts. Let's try to get into the corollary, the connotation and denotation that is hidden into the words of Swamiji, so that we can really get into the in-depth gems that are hidden into his words and how it exactly connects with the humanitarian values, what we have been talking about. When Swamiji goes to Dakshineshwar Kali Mandir and Thakur ji says, जाओ जाकर अपने आप अपनी समस्याओं के समाधान के लिए माँ से कुछ भी मांगना हो मांग लो. और स्वामी जी अंदर जाते हैं, मंदिर में जाने के बाद काली के दर्शन करते हैं. काली के दर्शन के साथ उनके मन की सारी व्यथा नष्ट होती है. व्यथा नष्ट होने के बाद उनके मुंह से यही निकलता है, हे माँ मुझे ज्ञान दे, भक्ति दे, वैराग्य दे. परमहंस हंसते हैं, उनको फिर से भेजते हैं कि जा अपनी व्यथा बता और अब उनसे मांग जो कुछ भी तू मांगना चाहता है. स्वामी जी फिर जाते हैं, अंदर जाते हैं, उनके मुंह से यही प्रकट होता है, हे माँ तू मुझे ज्ञान दे, भक्ति दे, वैराग्य दे. और फिर परमहंस कहते हैं कि यू आर मेंट फॉर दैट, तुम इसीलिए बने हो. यह शरीर यह धारण करके यह शरीर जो भी कष्ट पाए, परंतु जो आत्मा है जो शरीर के साथ में जुड़ी हुई है वो इसी दृष्टिकोण से तो आती है. आविर्भाव ही तो इस मानवता का इसी कारण हुआ है. हे माँ तू मुझे भ्रम से मुक्त कर दे. इस भ्रम से मुक्ति के अतिरिक्त तो और क्या मांगेगी तेरी आत्मा, क्योंकि तू इसीलिए इस धरती पर आया है. तू सत्य की खोज में आया, इसके बियॉन्ड तू कुछ कर ही नहीं पाएगा. प्रयास भी कर लेगा तो नहीं कर पाएगा, बिकॉज यू आर मेंट फॉर दैट. तेरा आविर्भाव इसी दृष्टिकोण से हुआ और उस आविर्भाव के कारण के साथ चूंकि उस धरती पर आया, इसीलिए उसके अतिरिक्त तू क्या मांगेगा. व्हाट एल्स कैन यू आस्क. जब निकलकर स्वामी जी चल रहे होते हैं, ठाकुर जी ने शरीर छोड़ दिया है, स्वामी जी निकलना चाहते हैं आश्रम से, भारत देखना चाहते हैं और उद्देश्य की प्राप्ति करना चाहते हैं. सारे गुरु भाई गुरु शिष्य सब चारों तरफ से खड़े पूछते तू कहाँ जाएगा. और वैसे में शारदा कहती है, शारदा माँ कहती है स्वामी जी को, सबको कहती है इसे जाने दे, इसे अपने अभीष्ट की तलाश करने दे. आशीर्वाद देती है कि यू गेट अहेड ऑन द पाथ, यू गेट अहेड ऑन द पाथ. और वहां से स्वामी जी चलते हुए कहाँ किनारे एक प्रस्तर पर बैठकर वहां से मुड़कर देखते हैं इस राष्ट्र को और अपना अभीष्ट तय करते हैं.
और अभिष्ट तय करता हुआ वो एक सन्यासी कहीं एक प्रस्तर पर बैठा हुआ कहता मैं इस धरती का भाग्य बदल दूंगा, जैसे कवि चाणक्य ने बोला था। वो कहता मैं इसे जगाने आया हूं, लोग सुनेंगे, पत्थर मारेंगे, हंसेंगे। व्हाट आर यू टॉकिंग अबाउट? एक व्यक्ति एक चना कोई भाड़ नहीं फोड़ सकता, परंतु वह मनुष्य जब आत्म साक्षात्कार करता है और ब्रह्म के साथ एकात्मता का अनुभव करता है और अपने जीवन के उद्देश्य को स्पष्ट देखने लग जाता है, तो वहां से उसके जीवन की कथा एकदम बदल जाती है। और वहां से उस कथा के बदलाव के साथ संस्कृतियों को कंट्रीब्यूट करने के लिए वहीं से एक कहानी की शुरुआत होती है, जहां से स्वामी जी की भी शुरुआत होती है। और चलते हुए पग पग चलते हुए इस पूरे राष्ट्र का स्पर्श करते हुए स्वामी जी आखिर मात्र 39 वर्ष के उम्र में एक ऐसा वेव, एक ऐसा ऑरा, एक ऐसा वाइब क्रिएट करके जाते हैं, जिस वाइब को आज 125 वर्ष बाद भी हम सब महसूस करते हैं। इधर बैठ के स्वाध्याय मंडल से जुड़े हुए सभी बंधु कभी महसूस ही नहीं करते कि स्वामी विवेकानंद इज नॉट देयर। वी नेवर रियलाइज इट। अपने में से एक दीदी थी जो अब तो हमारे बीच नहीं रही, चली गई अचानक। पीसीएस ऑफिसर थी, देहरादून से हर वर्ष पंतनगर में विवेकानंद जयंती पर आती थी और वो इस बात को सुनकर क्रुद्ध हो जाती थी। कोई कहता था विवेकानंद जी का निर्वाण दिवस, तो उस क्रुद्ध हो जाती थी। वो कहती थी कि विवेकानंद का निर्वाण दिवस नहीं मनाते कभी। वो कहती थी कि ही इज देयर, ही इज देयर, डोंट टॉक लाइक दिस। विवेकानंद का निर्वाण दिवस मत बोलो, ही इज देयर। इस भाव को जीने वाले, जो उन भावों को अभी अपने हृदय में रखकर उनको एक स्पंदन की बाती, वायु की बाती जीते हैं, उन्हें फील करते हैं, उनके साथ कनेक्ट फील करते हैं, उन्हें अपने रगों में महसूस करते हैं, उसके अनुरूप अपने विचार, अपने सपने बनाते हैं और जीवन का अधिष्ठान, अभीष्ट नियत करते हैं। इतना इन डेप्थ ऑरा इस पूरे राष्ट्र को उन्होंने दिया और आज 125 वर्षों बाद भी हजारों युवा उसकी अनुभूति कर पाते हैं। ये इन डेप्थनेस है। दिस इन डेप्थनेस स्वामी जी gave to this whole nation, this whole country and across. This in डेप्थनेस could be generated when souls become huge and they really come back. और यहाँ जो अहम ब्रह्मास्मि का सत्य है वो बिल्कुल प्रकट सा दिखता है। This is how स्वामी विवेकानंद was. तो हम लोग जब पंतनगर विश्वविद्यालय में स्वामी जी को स्मरण करते हैं, स्वामी जी का उल्लेख करते हैं, उनकी जयंती मनाते हैं, तो महज कार्यक्रम नहीं होता। कार्यक्रम के मुकाबले में वो हमारे लिए हमारे आत्मावलोकन का समय होता है, जिसमें आत्मावलोकन भी होता है, आत्म साक्षात्कार भी होता है। एक सेलिब्रेशन होता है, सेलिब्रेशन ऑफ दैट फीलिंग व्हाट विवेकानंदा realized and lived, and we feel like getting into connect, getting into touch of that feeling and feeling that that wave is emerging right from heart to our souls, and that energy is survived and the flame is burning. This is what Vivekananda is there for all of us, those who are there across into this university, and all those ripples which are there connected all across into the world, those who live Vivekananda. I feel like not extending my thoughts, but consolidating with my feelings. I put my gratitude to all those, especially Nandita Didi and Bharat ji, those who provided me this chance to speak some words devoted to the Sri Charana of Swami Vivekananda, and all those patient listeners across on the platform, those who bared with technical glitches also, provided me a chance to put some words in front of you. Thank you very much. Dhanyavad.
So, thank you, Professor Putka. Now we will take some of the views from the some other academicians. So we have two vice chancellors in the panel, and some more deans and senior professors are there. So we will take their views also on the Swamiji. So now I request Sri Krishna Srivatsavaji. He is a vice chancellor at Northeast Hill University. Sri Krishna Srivatsavaji, please give quick comments. Sorry.
Okay, am I audible, Venkat ji?
Hi, sir. Okay. We can hear you. Please.
तो सबसे सर्वप्रथम श्री वेंकट कृष्णा जी को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद कि इस पावन तिथि को हम सभी लोग मिलकर स्मरण कर रहे हैं और स्वामी विवेकानंद जी की जयंती को हम लोग साथ में मिलकर मना रहे हैं. इट्स वेरी रिलेवेंट for the days, for the century, for our country. Well, thank you very much. At the very outset, I would extend my greetings from the Manipur. You know, Swami Venkat ji, let me correct you कि अभी मेरा कार्यकाल वहाँ का खत्म हो चुका है
Oh, I am sorry.
For the kind introduction. So I am now the ex-Vice Chancellor of Northeastern Hill University, Shillong, Nehu, popularly known as Meghalaya. Okay. And incidentally, I think I was just hearing, listening to Professor Kashyap ji, if I correctly recall. He was introduced as a professor from Pantnagar University. So I think a professor, Professor Shukla from Pantnagar University of Science and Technology, ab wo wahan ke Vice Chancellor hai, right? But anyway, I mean, that is quite immaterial who is what, but what is material, I mean, what is important is the great personality whom we are talking about. So at the very start, thank you, Venkatji, for making me to join this program. And it has been a pleasure listening to Mania Nandita Pathak, Dr. Nandita Pathak ji, and Professor Uma Maheshwar ji, and of course, Professor Kashyap, and of course, other persons, those anchors and all that. Well, let me, I mean, I'm just sharing my, straight thoughts. See, we are talking about his famous, address of Swami Vivekananda ji, which was, at the World Religion of Parliament in Chicago. And what was the date? That date is a very famous date. That was 11th September, 1893. And 11th September, if you recall, which is popularly or unpopularly known as 9/11. That is the infamous date, of that, the terror attack in the United States, the Twin Tower and all. This. So you see, one famous date on that, our Swami Vivekananda ji delivered that famous address. Why I'm telling that why such incidents of terrorism, etc. I'm just crisscrossing our country's boundary and talking in a global sense, because they're all misguided youths. I'm telling you, they're highly misguided youths, wrongly motivated. I think there was some mention of right and wrong also in the address of, I think, Professor Uma Maheshwar ji, Rao ji, and all. So I'm just trying to connect the various underlining features which my predecessors have explained. So well, so एक चीज है, दूसरी बात है, we just mentioned about Shillong, for the benefit of the listeners and my young friends, and especially the youths, who have joined today. Shillong is very important as far as Swami Vivekananda is concerned. And aap vishwas kariye, I had the privilege of addressing the youth, the students, in that hall. वो actually एक Ramakrishna Mission Vivekananda Cultural Memorial Hall hai. There I had the privilege of standing on, in that, hall. Of course, it thoda renovate ho gaya hai. That ground where Swami Vivekananda stood, and he has also interacted with the people there, and the students ko maine, believe me, I played the famous speech of 1993, which is available on YouTube, and the students were, because of the shortage of time. Now, दो तीन चीजें मैं कर सकता हूँ कि अभी हमारी बहन नंदिता पाठक जी ने बहुत अच्छी बात कही कि स्वामी विवेकानंद जी ने जो कहा है, जो उनकी बातें हैं, उनके जो विचार हैं, उसको हम लोगों को हृदय तक पहुंचाना चाहिए. आई विल गो ए स्टेप फर्दर, डॉक्टर नंदा जी, विद ड्यू अपॉलॉजी, उसको हम लोग को आत्मा तक पहुंचाना चाहिए, उससे हम लोग को आत्मसात करना चाहिए, उस पर हम लोग का गंभीर, हम सभी का, हर भारत के नागरिक का आत्मचिंतन करना चाहिए. और तभी जो है हम लोग अपने देश भारत को पुनः विश्व गुरु बना पाएंगे. एंड फॉर द काइंड अटेंशन ऑफ डॉक्टर कश्यप, जब उनका वो फ्रेम में उनका वो आ रहा था बैकड्रॉप, तो इसमें जो है मुझे एक शब्द मिला, संस्कृत का शब्द, टॉप लेफ्ट कॉर्नर में, देशाभ्युदाय. देशाभ्युदाय. और चूंकि मैं संस्कृत का एक छात्र रहा हूँ, आई एम एक्चुअली a person of chemistry, professionally I'm a chemistry, nanotechnology, hardcore physical chemistry, nanotechnology, biological medicine, cancer applications and all that. लेकिन देशाभ्युदाय मुझे बड़ा अच्छा लगा कि हम सभी लोग जो हैं, अगर स्वामी विवेकानंद जी की हर बातों को अगर हम लोग उस पर मनन चिंतन करें, आत्मसात करें, तो तभी हम लोगों का देश का अभ्युदय, रिकॉन्स्ट्रक्शन, रेनेसांस जिसको हम लोग बोलते हैं, उस तरह का एक आ पाएगा, और तभी हम लोग देश आत्मनिर्भर बन जाएगा. एंड इन दिस कनेक्शन, चूंकि ये यूथ्स को हम लोग एड्रेस कर रहे हैं, मैं खुद ही अपने को, आई एम नियरिंग 60, आई एम 64, बट स्टिल आई हैव यूथफुल हार्ट एंड माइंड. एंड ऑफ कोर्स अपने देश के लिए अगर हम लोग का वो यूथफुलनेस रहेगी, मतलब हमेशा एनर्जी कुछ करने की, कुछ कर गुजरने की, सफल हो या असफल होने, उसमें जरूर कुछ करना है, कुछ नई चीजें हैं, कुछ नवाचार, इनोवेशन हो, रिसर्च हो, ये हो, वो हो, और हम लोग एक अच्छे नागरिक के रूप में हम लोग काम करें, तभी हम लोग का देश का हम लोग का अभ्युदय और आत्मनिर्भर भारत हम लोग बना सकते हैं। एंड ट्रस्ट में जो स्वामी विवेकानंद जी की हमें जो एक उनकी जो एजुकेशन से रिलेटेड एक बात आ रही है कि दैट आई थिंक एजुकेशन इज द मैनिफेस्टेशन ऑफ द परफेक्शन विद इन मैन, समथिंग लाइक दैट, एजुकेशन इज द मैनिफेस्टेशन ऑफ द परफेक्शन विद इन मैन। क्या एक ये जो मूल मंत्र है, सूत्र जिसको हम लोग बोलते हैं संस्कृत में, नो, एक क्या इसको हम लोग एक मूल मंत्र की तरह, सूक्त की तरह, सूत्र की तरह हम लोग उसको इस पे पर मन चिंतन कर सकते हैं, बिकॉज दैट इज द ओनली वे टू मेक दिस NEP 2020 सक्सीड।
Yes, yes.
क्यों करना है, एवरीबडी नो। सो आई मीन व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू से कि स्वामी विवेकानंद जी का आज के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में बहुत बहुत बड़ा रिलेवेंस है, और उन्होंने जो अराइज अवेक एंड स्टॉप नॉट टिल द गोल इज रीच्ड, उन्होंने ही वाज एड्रेसिंग टू यू नो टू प्रोवोक द हिप्नोटाइज्ड माइंड्स। तो हम लोग अभी एक हिप्नोसिस की अवस्था से हम लोग ऊपर उठ के और इन सब चीजों को हम लोग उसके ऊपर मनन चिंतन करें। आई थिंक ग्रेट लिसनिंग टू माय कलीग्स एंड I wish all the very best on this great day, and I let our country, you know, and countrymen, हम लोग विवेकानंद, स्वामी विवेकानंद जी की सभी बातों को, उनके कोट्स को, उनके विचारों को हम लोग आत्मनन करें, चिंतन करें, तभी हमारा भारत देश विश्वगुरु बन सकेगा, आत्मनिर्भर। So thank you very much once again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Now we will take final call from Professor Jagdish Patnaik. He is Pro Vice Chancellor at Mizoram Central University. Jagdish ji, please give quick views.
Yes. Thank you so much, Dr. Venkat Krishna ji. I feel it very privileged after a long time. I have been participating in your seminar. Actually, otherwise I was very busy. Anyway, I was glad to be part of the thing in the sense that I listened to three distinguished speakers, and their presentations were wonderful in the sense that it makes relevant in the context of the present situation available in the country, both the pandemic as well as the demand, the downturn in economy and all these things. How I relate these two things to Vivekananda is this. Vivekananda was always for the youth, and India is a youthful country, and we realized the need to, you know, tap the resources from the youth ever since this government came into power, particularly this BJP government came into power under the leadership of Narendra Modi ji, who has been, you know, giving utmost importance to the youth. And Vivekananda was the man who rekindled the switch of enlightenment, rekindled the switch of revival, rekindle the switch of enlightenment and revival of the Indian civilization, Indian culture, Indian ethos, everything on the world stage. So one of the greatest contributions of Vivekananda ji was how to reinvigorate the youth for the freedom movement. Actually, this aspect needs to be focused. Actually, he has talked so much about the need to look after the materialistic needs, as well as the spiritual needs. First of all, when you have these material needs fulfilled, then only you can think about the spiritual needs. That was the main message that Vivekananda also spoke about, particularly keeping in mind the contemporary society, the colonial society in which we were living, and he indirectly, you know, provoked, I would say, I would not say instigated, provoked and supported the people to come forward and assert themselves, because for him freedom is not only freedom for the sake of having it, but the freedom for the benefit of the humanity, for the country in which he lived. So Vivekananda's contribution to the freedom movement is also enormous. His thought, his ideas, his principles, all of them, they did guide the subsequent thinkers, subsequent leaders of India for this freedom movement. So this aspect actually is not focused, not so much, except amongst the students of political science and others. But he was one of the first nationalist par excellence. And his nationalism was manifested through his outpourings on the Indian civilization and Indian Advaita, the philosophy of Advaita that he spoke about was also intertwined to the principle of Indian nationalism. And today in India, we are seeing the revival of Indian nationalism in its own way with great spirit. And that's how the contributions of Vivekananda would be relevant in the present context, and more so particularly because of the youth. India is a youthful society, youthful country, and it will have a far-reaching impact on the Indian youth. I can go on speaking, but let me stop here. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot, Venkat Krishna ji. Thanks.
So thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Due to time constraint, we could not give chance to others. So we are really sorry for the inconvenience. So we know there are some ex-vice chancellors and deans and ex-registrars also there. We are really sorry for the inconvenience. We may discuss about Swamiji again when we get the time. So thank you very much. Thank you everyone for joining this session. And indeed, it was a great session. And from towards Better India side, I convey my sincere thanks to Dr. Uma Maheshwar Rao. He is a director at NIT Surathkal, and Dr. Nandita Pathak and Dr. Kashyap ji. So thank you everyone, and thank you for the dignitaries also. Jai Hind.
Thank you. Thank you. Namaskar.
Namaste.